A critique of Quinlan's e-learning for independence. What is e-learning for independence? It is an independent e-learning resource which facilitates a child's independent learning. In this case, the resource was used to develop children's understanding of Alan Peate's exciting sentences. What is an exciting 3ED sentence? It's a sentence which begins with 3 adjectives ending in ED. An example given by the children themselves: terrified, horrified, and paralysed with fear, as she saw the monster swallow a whale whole. How does the resource facilitate independent learning? There are several reasons. It empowers children to work at their own pace. Children were able to make independent choices and take responsibility for their learning, and the children had the freedom to explore interests within the subject area and beyond. There are many other advantages of the resource. It enabled exploratory talk and the sharing of ideas between children. It developed children's written communication, and it gave confidence to those children who found literacy more difficult. However, there were some disadvantages. Discussion did not take place verbally. However, this was addressed by getting the children to work together in groups. And another disadvantage is that the resource developed a reliance upon technology. So, for example, spell check. This also hides a child's potential misunderstandings and perhaps doesn't give the teacher a true representation of a child's ability. Whilst giving a child independence can have its benefits, it can also detract from the learning intentions. However, unintended outcomes can also be of value. An example of an unintended outcome of this particular resource was the YouTube videos that children created, explaining what 3ED sentences were and putting them in a context. In terms of assessment, children were given the opportunity to share their prior knowledge before the topic was introduced, and this ensured that children were stretched within their zone of proximal development. And the resource also enabled the class teacher to monitor the progress of children, as well as allowing children to share ideas with each other. In terms of the SAMR model, the line-know-it task that children were introduced to provided a direct substitute to a paper version of post-it notes. This can be classified as augmentation because it made an improvement to learning as a permanent resource that can be shared on a large scale and can also be reviewed. With the introduction to ICT and the e-resource, children also went on to create video resources of their own, as we explained earlier. So moving on to the strategic leadership in ICT. Enhancement. The resource, in this case, aided the children's understanding of 3ED sentences. However, would the outcome have been the same if they had used paper or other traditional methods? To what degree did the use of technology extend the children's learning? In terms of engagement, children were clearly engaged in the task. The creation of videos showed that the children expressed enthusiasm about the topic. And empowerment. Children took control of their own learning journey. The tasks were adult-initiated and child-led. And by doing this, children took the initiative and formed a series of videos to support the resource. This is something that would not have been possible without the use of technology. And exchange. Traditional teaching methods were exchanged for the modern use of technology. The children also used the technology to exchange ideas amongst each other. And finally, embed. The teacher was clear on the purpose of using their technology and communicated this to the pupils, ensuring effective understanding and effective use of the resource. So to conclude, overall, we think this resource was extremely valuable because it reflects many of the principles of strategic leadership. The resource gave children the opportunity to take control of their learning journey, boosting their confidence in this area and allowing them to progress beyond the expectations of the class teacher. However, it is questionable as to whether this resource enhances learning beyond traditional methods. And here are some references if you want to go and find out more.